The release of 11 men convicted for the gang rape of Bilkis Bano and the murder of 7 members of her family is a shameful blot on the nation. The Supreme Court has issued notices in the matter after massive outrage led to a series of petitions being filed at the top court. And as the court proceedings play out, it's important for us to keep the focus on Bilkis, to demand justice for her and to ensure that the convicts go back to jail. Last week, several cities also saw citizens' protests breaking out over the issue, and among those who has forcefully lent her voice to the Justice for Bilkis campaign is actor Shabana Azmi. Shabana Azmi joins us on NDTV now. Thank you so much, Shabana ji, for being with us. It's incredible, isn't it, Shabana Azmi, that this is a case, as I said, a shameful blot on the country, but it's not, it doesn't seem to have pricked the conscience of so many people as much as it should have. Don't you think?
It takes me completely by surprise, because when this happened, I just expected that there would be such an outpouring of outrage. And so I waited for 2 days, 3 days, and there was such little visibility in the media, in any kind of discussion. And then one day I was sitting with some people that I knew, some I didn't know, and the Bilkis Bano case was talked about. And they said, but what's the big deal? They have already served the sentence. Ab kya shor machana? And they weren't even fully cognizant of what had happened. They weren't even aware that these 11 convicts had been released. And I was just stunned that this could happen. And so that's why I got up and joined that thing. But even now, I think there isn't enough understanding of the injustice and the horror of what has happened. These people have been released, 11 convicts have been released, and then they are felicitated and laddus are being distributed. What is the signal we are giving in society? What is the signal that we are giving to women? We have a government that professes Nari Shakti on the very same day. And this is what happens. And we just sort of helplessly sitting around and saying, ab kya kare? I mean, I just cannot even express enough my horror and my complete inability to understand that this country came out, all of the country came out on the streets as they should have in the Nirbhaya case. And then why this complete silence in Bilkis's case?
Why do you think that is? I mean, if you had to put your pulse on, it, why do you think that's the case? Why are people seeing it differently? It's because her name is Bilkis?
What other conclusion that one can come to? What other conclusion? You know, it's really, really sad, because I just don't want every single debate only to be reduced to a Hindu-Muslim one. Much of that is happening in the country, and I don't think that it's really winning brownie points for anybody. But what is this? This seems like there is a conspiracy here to use this moment and create more communal tension and fissures in the community, maybe with an eye on the elections, on the coming elections. What else can you imagine that this silence is for? What other reason can there be?
But the fact that, and you touched upon this, the fact that not only are they released, they are felicitated, and you also had members of the panel that, actually suggested their release, talking about the fact that they're, from good families, that they have children, that they are Brahmins. I mean, the justification that's given for this, it just boggles the mind.
ये ब्राह्मण हैं, ये संस्कारी हैं, पता नहीं इन्होंने ये किया भी है कि नहीं. You are saying this about people who have been convicted. You're not talking about remission for innocent people. They are convicted people. There is no question that they have committed the crime. And then you are saying कि ये ब्राह्मण है, ये संस्कारी है. इसका मतलब क्या है? और ये हुआ कैसे? How is it possible? Tell me, how is it possible that without some orders from the center, the state of Gujarat can do this on its own? How are we to believe it? Why is the National Commission of Women completely silent? Why is the Human Rights Commission completely silent? Why are the women in the BJP completely silent? Otherwise, very vocal women. Is this a question of party lines? Have we lost all humanity? I just wonder where we are moving as a society, Nidhi.
I agree, and it's not about it being a Muslim woman. It's very much about all a woman. And today Bilkis is obviously scared. She said that she's so numb and shocked by the fact that this has happened in the first place. What would you say to her today, Shabana Azmi? Or if Bilkis Bano is watching this, what would you say to her?
I have no words except that I am deeply ashamed. I have no other words. I mean, this woman has had such a huge tragedy, and yet she didn't lose the courage. She fought all that way. She got these people convicted, and like her husband says, just when she's about to bring her life together, this great travesty of justice happens, and her lawyer says, वो अकेली कहाँ तक लड़ेगी? क्या हम सब लोगों को आकर उसके लिए लड़ाई नहीं करना चाहिए? Shouldn't we be shouting from the rooftops so that justice is done to this person, and that women who are feeling unsafe in this country, women who face the threat of rape every day, should not get some sense of security? What do I answer my children? What do I answer my grandchildren? What can I say to Bilkis? मैं शर्मिंदा हूँ. इसके अलावा क्या कह सकती हूँ?
Are you disappointed that more people who have the power to speak like you do are not speaking up? Whether it's politicians, whether it's people from the film fraternity, are you disappointed that they're not lending their voice to this?
At the moment, the situation is become so murky, has become so murky, and I am telling you, people are not even cognizant of the actual details. But my question is, what about members of parliament? What about women members of parliament? What about
women ministers?
Women ministers, Minister of Women Affairs, who's so vocal normally. Whom can you look to? You can look to these people that ye log kuch kahenge, they will move against party lines and they will speak as women. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. भाई आप इनको प्रसाद दे रहे हो. What is the signal you're giving, and you expect that सब लोग चुपचाप इसको सहन कर लेंगे और समझेंगे हाँ this is a matter of course. I am speechless.
Well, Shabana Azmi, you may be speechless, but you've lent your voice to this and focused attention on it front and center. You, other politicians like Mahua Moitra, who went to the Supreme Court, and so many others who do continue to speak up. So that matters, and we hope the Supreme Court is listening to this, is watching this, and does something about it. I think we're all looking at the Supreme Court with some degree of hope as it has finally intervened in this case. Shabana Azmi, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.